Welcome to another episode of Real Estate and Coffee. We're at Verve Coffee Roasters in the Arts District of downtown LA. Today we're going to talk about out-of-state investing.
Let's dive in.
So we both live in Southern California, where the average home price is now over $1 million in Orange County and LA County. With that, and with very unfavorable landlord-tenant relations, to put it kindly, a lot of investors are looking out of state for their next property.
There's a lot of out-of-state investing gurus on social media, so it's a very, very, what's the word? A very popular thing right now for people in California, and rightfully so.
It's the wild, wild east.
Yeah.
So, what are some things that we look out for? Well, first, you have to determine your goals and objectives.
Yeah.
Are you a cash flow investor, or are you looking for long-term appreciation? For me personally, I'm in real estate for the appreciation. I work a 9-to-5 job. I have a steady income, so I'm really looking for that long-term growth. So long as the property can cash flow and I can hook on to it. I'm looking for markets that have an imbalance of supply and demand. So growing markets that also have some supply constraints, such as coastal markets, mountain towns, things like that. That's really what I'm after.
Appreciation is important to me, but I like, a little bit of cash flow too. Like, we both have day jobs, so we're not trying to, retire overnight in real estate as some gurus on social media try to make you believe. So dude, tell us, you were just out in Florida, right?
Yeah, I was just out in Florida. There's some photos of Melbourne, Florida below. It's known as the Space Coast. This is a market that I was researching while I was working at Sabal, and became intrigued due to the really low prices of the homes and relatively high rents. So something I could get in cheap. And cash flow immediately, and we've seen that market appreciate substantially over the last 4 or 5 years. Influx of jobs, really lack of supply of good, affordable housing due to the coastal, it's coastal, and so it's worked out pretty well. Once we've decided on a growth market, I'm looking for a place that I want to go to. Right? Because you're going to want to be there every year, every 2 years, whenever you have to turn the unit. And so you're going to want to go there. And are you going to want to go to the Rust Belt? Maybe some people do, and that's fine. For me, it's got to be somewhere I want to go, and I can essentially write off my vacation, if you will. So that's one thing I look for. Secondly, I look for a property that's fairly low maintenance, because it is out of state. I want something that's a little newer. Maybe it's in an HOA, so that I'm not, taking phone calls, weekly or monthly to fix things.
So you're managing this one on your own, right?
So this one I'm self-managing. So I do hire the realtor to help lease the unit, but once it's leased, then I'll take over and manage the unit and work with the tenant. I use a program called TenantCloud. There's also another one called Cozy that manages payments and things like that online, so that Before, when I was just having the tenants send checks, and the rent was late every month because it would take a week to get there.
Right.
So, cash flow is great, and I know we're all intrigued by very low prices, but just be mindful of where you're buying and the types of issues that you're going to be dealing with. Know the pitfalls of some of these states. Now in Florida, the property taxes are very high,
Right.
so you can anticipate paying 1.5% to 2% of the property value, and they don't have Prop 113 where your property taxes can't go up,
Yeah.
like we do in California. So be mindful of the state and where where you're investing and the pitfalls there.
Yeah.
Other things to look out for are insurance.
Yeah.
There's an insurance crisis in California, Florida, as as global warming kind of takes hold.
Yeah.
There's a lot of insurance scams going on and insurance companies going under. Our insurance doubled in 1 year,
Yeah.
and that's something that can just immediately eat away at your return,
Yeah.
your cash flow. So just be mindful of the state that you're investing in, and the nuances and pitfalls of that state.
Yeah, like right now it's like a very popular thing to, for Californians to like look at investing in Texas. But if you do the math of the property taxes correctly as an investor, and the raising prices in Texas already, like a lot of deals won't even cash flow. So make sure, you're doing your underwriting on the insurance and on the taxes to really know what kind of deal you have, or even if you have a deal.
Totally. Yeah. One way to finance an investment property is with conventional financing, 20% down. It's based on your income. So depending on your debt to income ratio, how many properties you own, what your income is, it's difficult to scale the business using conventional financing methods.
Right.
Most banks require 2 years of tax returns to give you credit for the income. So tell us about some of the private financing options that are available for out-of-state investors.
My niche product, I don't even need a debt service. So it's basically, we can do a loan, 25% down, up to $5 million. And the rates will be in the mid to upper sixes, and we won't need any type of income documentation.
What do you need? What are some of the underwriting requirements for a loan?
We require that you have owned an investment property in the past 5 years. You don't have to own it now. You just have to show that you've owned an investment property at one point, so that you're not just a first-time investor or a first-time homeowner.
What about reserves? Do they require a certain amount of reserves, or is it just based on the equity in the property and it's purely asset-based?
It's case by case. I would say that the minimum FICO would have to be at least 650, and these products are more like traditional loans, which they're like a 30-year fix, but they will have potentially at least a 1-year prepayment penalty. On them. Yeah.
Nice.
And there's no. I mean, with
is there any limit to how many of these loans you can?
No.
So you can be buying properties in Florida, Indiana,
correct,
Tennessee, and there's no maximum to what you can buy, so long as you have the down payment.
Correct.
And that's the main thing that they're underwriting is the loan to value ratio. Yeah,
and unlike conforming, they would prefer you to have this property under an LLC. And another benefit on it is that it's not gonna report to your credit on a monthly basis. So if you set it up properly under an LLC, you're not gonna bog down your debt to income ratio in your personal finances.
That's important.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. Makes me want to go out and buy more investment properties out of state. What are some of the places that you're hearing about are either good or bad? We hear obviously Texas and the Florida and Phoenix, but what are some of those other markets that you've heard either good things or bad things about?
I'm hearing a lot of things about Indiana. Shout out to my buddies at Drive By Home Buyers. If you guys want to see some content about out-of-state real estate investment, they put out some really good content. And they're mainly focused in Indiana. I know that they're moving, to some other parts in the Midwest, but
Yeah.
as far as the cash flow basis, I mean, they've shown me deals that it's still at like a 10% cash flow on a SFR.
So get your parkas out. Get your snow caps.
Yeah.
Next episode, we're going to Indiana. Thanks for joining us today. Out of state investing, Verve Coffee Roasters, Arts District, downtown LA.
Yeah.
See ya.
See you guys.